guys, and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be doing a book haul. So recently I discovered the website Book Outlet. So they have tons of books for crazy cheap. And it's not like they have the newest releases or anything like that, but they still have a really good selection. And these books are like cheap. I mean like between $2 and like $10 cheap. And you pay about $4 in shipping for the first book. But for every book you order after that, it's only about 65 cents. So, of course, I ended up ordering a ton of books. But in the end, with shipping and everything, I ended up paying about only $4 a book. And I got it shipped here in like 5 days. So, I am so happy, and I definitely will be ordering off of Book Outlet again. So, I got the package in the mail. It won't even fit in the frame, but there you go. So today I'm going to be doing a bit of an unboxing as well as a book haul. So I bought 17 books off of Book Outlet, and I bought about 6 or 7 other books just because I wanted them. So first I'm going to start with some of my other books, and then I will go into the Book Outlet books. So first I have Time and Again by Jack Finney. This looks like a really cute book. It's about this man who becomes part of this time travel project and ends up traveling 100 years into the late 1800s. He just wants to go for the adventure at first and everything, but then he falls in love with a woman from that time, and the story is about whether he decides to live in the present or if he wants to live in the past with this girl. And sounds pretty interesting, so I'm looking forward to this. Next I have The Dress Shop of Dreams by Mena van Praag. I am so sorry for mispronouncing your name, but this looks like a cute little rom-com type story, contemporary. It's about this woman who is a scientist and doesn't believe in true love or anything like that, and her grandmother owns this dress shop, and the grandmother, whatever she does with the dresses, the little stitches and the embroidery or whatever she does on the dresses, it ends up weaving a little magic for whoever buys the clothes. So this grandmother really wants to work her magic on her granddaughter. So, and this guy has been in love with her granddaughter for forever, and she wants to give it a little nudge. So she stitches a little stitch into one of his shirt collars and sends him off to find her. And it's all about the magic and her granddaughter and this guy who is a bookshop owner. I'm assuming falling in love and the shenanigans that come from that. So it looks really cute, and I'm looking really forward to reading it. Then I have A Desperate Fortune by Susanna Kearsley. This one looks really interesting in that it's a modern day woman who is decoding this woman's journal. Now they think it's just about her daily life and stuff like that. It's about this woman in France. She was a Scottish Jacobite hiding in France, and at first they think it's just this woman's everyday life thing that she's going to be decoding in the journal, but it ends up being this really big huge plot, and it has repercussions in the modern world, and it's about this woman finding out what's really happening in the journal and how it impacts in the modern day, and it looks like a nice thrilling adventure. And Invasion of the Tearling by Erica Johansson. This is the second book. I don't actually own Queen of the Tearling, which is the first book in this series, but it is on my to-read list, and so when I saw the second one, I just had to pick it up even though I don't have the first, but I know once I read the first I'll probably love it, and so I wanted to have the second one on hand when I did. And of course I had to pick up a copy of An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. Everybody has been raving about this on BookTube. I was kind of iffy about it at first, but when I heard so many people loved it, I decided to give it a try, and so I picked up a copy. I had heard of Off the Pages by Jodi Picoult and Samantha Van Leer before, What I didn't know until after I picked it up is that this is a companion novel to Between the Lines by the same two authors, Jodi Picoult and her daughter. I really want to read this. It looks so cute about a man, a girl falling in love with a prince character in one of her books in the fairy tale, and him coming actually out of the book and into real life. This is the second part. The first book, they say it's a companion, but I really want to read the first one first, the Between the Lines, because it's all about her falling in love with the guy in the book and deciding to try to bring him out into real life. So I really want to read this one, like really bad, but I think I'm gonna wait until I get Between the Lines first. So I'll be holding off on this for a little while, but I want to read it so bad, so bad. Now I do have one more book that I bought, not from Book Outlet, but I'm gonna hold off on it because it's a two-parter, and so I want to get the other book out first from that I ordered off of Book Outlet. So moving on to Book Outlet. And of course, Book Outlet had to send a $5 coupon for the next time I order, which just makes me want to order right now. Like, stop this video, stop recording, and go order more books. Must resist. So first out of the Book Outlet books, I have Prophecy by Ellen O. I actually don't know much about this book, so I'm just going to read off the back here for a sec. So it says, she's the demon slayer. She's the most feared girl in the whole kingdom, and now she's on the run. Ha! I had heard good reviews about this book, and it looked pretty interesting. So, and the cover's beautiful. Like, look at this. Beauty. Beautiful. Beautiful. Just want to pet my books. So I thought I'd pick it up and see what it's about. Next I have Untold by Sarah Rees Brennan. This is the second book in the Lindbergh legacy. I have the first book right over here, Unspoken by Sarah Rees Brennan. Loved the first book. Have not posted a review for it yet, but I will hopefully soon. Loved the first book. The first book's basically about these two teenagers who have this intense connection. They can not read each other's minds, but they can speak to each other through their minds even though they've never met. And there's this whole big conspiracy, and anyways, this is the continuation of the series, and I cannot wait to read this. So next I have Mind Games by Kiersten White. I have read the Paranormalcy book from Kiersten White as well. Review to come soon, but this one looked really interesting to me. I know it's a duology. This is the first book in the duology. It's about these two girls, these two sisters. One is blind, can see the future, and the other has impeccable intuition. Her first thing is always correct. And then it's all about how the government wants to use them and stuff like that, and them finding out about this school and the dark secrets behind it and escaping it, but this girl's falling in love with this guy, and yeah, so looks cool. We'll see if I like it. Then I have Reboot by Amy Chintera. Everybody is raved about this. I mean, come on, look at the opening, the line on the cover here. It says, 5 years ago I died. 178 minutes later, I woke up. Like, and obviously, reboot, restart, life. That's all about, I know all about this book, but that's a good line, so completely drawed me in, and I was like, must buy, must. Then I have Till Death by Kate Evangelista. It's a Fractured Souls novel, whatever that means. I'm assuming it's part of a series then. It just looked really interesting. There's this girl who can see the future, and this new boy comes to town, and she starts having more prophetic dreams that are like a lot more violent and a lot more bloody, and it's all as soon as this guy comes to town, and she's trying to figure out why she's having all these things, and if he's the problem or if he's gonna save her. Next I have Cruel by Jennifer Albin. This, I believe, is part of a trilogy, and this is book 1 in the trilogy. What I've gleaned from the back of this book is that this girl can weave time and matter together. I mean, who wouldn't want to be able to weave time? Like, that's a cool enough premise that I picked up this book. And Anti-Goddess by Kendare Blake. This is a pretty cool premise for a novel. Basically, the old Greek gods are starting to die off. It's also called Anti-Goddess, the Goddess Wars. Some of the gods decide to turn on each other, and they're fighting amongst themselves because they're all starting to die off, and they're trying to figure out why they're dying off and if there is a cure. Really cool to think about. Oh, the gods think they're all-seeing, all-knowing, everything, and they'll live forever, but in this novel, they're dying off, and like everybody, they don't want to die, and trying to solve why they are. Next I have Black Watch by Jenna Burtonshaw. Literally just looking at this cover when I picked it up, I saw it's a sequel. So I kind of have to now buy the first book before I can read this. But it's about this girl, Kate, who can walk through the veil of life and death. And the whole tagline here says, "Deliver Kate Winters and be spared." So everybody's searching for this girl, and she's trying to escape everybody. Her own people are looking for her. Her enemies are looking for her. And so it's all about escape and trying to survive. Meanwhile, walking through the veil of life and death. Pretty cool. So now I have to go buy more books. But that is never a sad thing. Now I have to go find the first book. And I have Changeling by Philippa Gregory, the first book in the Order of the Darkness series. I've read Philippa Gregory's historical fiction, but now this is more of like a YA fantasy, and based on her historical fiction books I've read, and I've loved them, so when I found out she came out with a YA fantasy novel, I had to pick it up based solely on that. Next is Mask of the Red Death by Bethany Griffin. This is a cool kind of historical fiction novel set in the Victorian age with the plague, and about this girl surviving and going to this club and finding this cool kind of club and becoming a part of it and finding out the secrets of the proprietor and this aristocrat that have been in and joined the club. And I love a good historical fiction book, so I had to pick it up, and this is the first book in... I know there's a sequel, but I do not know if it's part of a series or a duology or a trilogy or what. But the second book is Dance of the Red Death. I know that much. Yeah. Next are 2 books of the same series. One I picked up elsewhere and one was from Book Outlet. So I have City of Lost Souls by Cassandra Clare and City of Heavenly Fire. These were the last 2 books that I did not have a part of the Mortal Instruments series, and I kind of got distracted with the Infernal Devices series, and so I never finished the Mortal Instruments, and so I saw them for cheap and I had to pick them up and I had to finish the series. Such pretty books. Then I have The Agency, A Spy in the House by Y.S. Lee. This is a cool historical fiction in this young girl who is a servant, comes to this female school. She is a servant, right? Yeah. She's not actually a servant, she was a thief. I did double check that. She was a thief who's brought to this all-girls school, boarding school, and she's taught to become a spy. And this one is about her learning to become a spy and being sent off on her first mission. I had had my eye on this book for a while, and I finally managed to pick it up. And then Steel by Carrie Vaughn. This book is about magic, romance, and pirates. I mean, what more do you need to pick up this book? Seriously, and this cover is gorgeous. A girl with a rapier. Like, seriously, I had to buy it. It was like a given. Pirates, women, romance, magic. I had to. And then I have Weather Witch by Shannon Delaney. Funny story. I actually thought I had ordered this and I thought I was ordering Truth Witch by Susan Dennard. And so I was like, everybody's talking about getting an ARC for Truth Witch and they can't wait for it. And I was like, I've already ordered it. Why are they looking at ARCs for it? It's already out. And no, it's not. To be fair, Truth Witch, Weather Witch, Shannon Delaney, Susan Dennard, it was very similar. But, I mean, anyways, look at this cover. Like, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. I love it. To be honest, I bought this mostly because of the cover. It was just so beautiful I had to pick it up. I mean, come on, who hasn't done that? And then I have Cinderella's Dress by Shona Slayton. This looks like a really cute book. It's about this girl during World War II. Her family is the keepers of the real Cinderella's dresses. And she has to protect these dresses from the descendants of the evil stepsisters during World War II. And I just thought it was so cute. I had to pick it up. And then I have Juliet Immortal by Stacey J. I totally smacked myself in the glasses there, but it's fine. So the whole premise for this story is when Romeo and Juliet killed themselves, what if they didn't die? I was like, of course, I have to pick that up. I mean, like, would she have regretted it? Why she killed herself? They met for like 3 days or 4 days or like a week, and then they killed themselves because they couldn't be together. Would she have regretted that? What were her thoughts afterwards? So that kind of brings this up. So this looks like an interesting read. And lastly, I have Velveteen by Daniel Marks. This is a pretty cool story in which the girl Velveteen Monroe, the main character, the protagonist, she's dead. She was killed by a serial killer. And after she's dead, she finds herself to awaken in the land of the dead. And what's on her mind? Hey, I want revenge on the guy that killed me. So she makes her way back to the land of the living and decides she's gonna find this guy, the serial killer. His name is Bonesaw. And she's gonna go find him and haunt him for the rest of his life. And of course, it looks like on her way she meets a cute boy, and that's all I got. That's from the first line of the back end, looking at the cover. So I don't know where it's gonna go from there, but it's gotta be fun. I mean, this is a pretty cool cover too. I mean, look, she's dead and they've got her on the cover. But this looks like an interesting read, and it's on the to-be-read list. They all are. So many books. So that is it. Finally done for all my books that I ordered. I think it's around 23. I'm gonna count now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 books. So I think out of all of the books that I ordered, the one I'm looking forward to the most to read is Off the Page. I know I'm gonna have to wait until I find the first book, but because I really want to read the companion first, especially since two of my favorite booktubers, Jessie the Reader and Katie Tastic, they both read Off the Page without having read between the lines. Only Pull and Bananas books. Christine had actually read the first one, and they kind of regretted not reading the first one, and after reading off the page, they wanted to go back and read the first one. So I do think I'm going to wait until I find the first one, but I think this is the most anticipated read out of all the books that I ordered. And here they are, all 24. I have nearly made myself an entire new shelf. So that's it. That is my very, very large book haul and very first book haul on my YouTube channel. This is Christine. Alright guys, so thanks for watching. Remember to thumbs up if you like this video, subscribe if you want to see more of them, and you can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr.